My name is Kwame Yempew. I work at Leeds City College, based mainly at Quarry Hill campus, even though I travel between two community campuses, Mapgate and North Street. So I'm part of the student life team. My job role is welfare advisor, and I deal with students that have complex issues, serious financial issues, debt, homelessness, etc. Issues that can cause them to drop out of college, and my brief is to do everything so they remain in college. So my heritage is mixed, black African and white European. So my mum is French and my dad is from Ghana. I started in the college from an ad in the paper, and in fact it was a community-based job that was working in Chapeltown part of Leeds, and the job was about interacting particularly with boys, mostly boys, who dropped out of education or had barriers to education, and through certain projects with them to get them into education. And so through a series of projects, many of them re-enrolled or came back to college and did various courses. And occasionally I bump into one or two of them in town, and they're in uni or doing something amazing. So it's great to know that there was some impact from the past. Yeah, I think the best thing about working here is the satisfaction I get from seeing the lives of young people changing, or it's almost like a transformation where they come to me with issues that they see completely impossible, to ever resolve. And I think usually my first meeting with them is to give them some hope that actually there is possibility if we do X, Y, Z, and step by step, and we follow these series of steps and actions, things will change. And over time, things change completely for them. Or at least, if not completely, because the issue is very big, bigger than just them and their lives, it no longer becomes a barrier for them to continue or to continue education, so they're able to stay in college. So that I get a lot of satisfaction from. I was in Manchester Airport on my way to a holiday, and I'm sitting in the airport waiting at the gate, and this big tall lad comes up to me. He was running after his little son who was running around the airport. And he saw me and said, "Are you Kwame?" I said, "Yes." He said, "I remember you from 2007. What? And he was an ESOL student learning English. And I don't remember what I did for him, but he remembered all the details and said, "You helped me do this and that." And I was able to get onto a mainstream course a few years later, and now I'm an agricultural engineer. And that is the kind of joy I derive by, working here. I'm passionate about, helping change people's lives. When I say change, I mean on a superficial level, change circumstances for the better. But I'm also very passionate about two other things. One is equality of people, or people having the opportunity to live their full potential in whatever it is. It could be older people, younger people, it doesn't matter. But actually for us as people, I'm always working in different charities and organizations that instill that kind of ethos and philosophy. Another thing I'm very passionate about is music. Since I was a teenager, I began playing in a reggae band. And so yes, I still play in the reggae band, even though at the moment I'm going solo. But yes, so I love music. I'm very passionate about playing guitar. Oh, what's challenging about working here is sometimes I'm scared at the complexity of the issues that students bring to me, because they are increasingly getting more and more complex, particularly with the lockdown. Where families, cooped up together, and all the pressures that come as a result of that. What I was discovering is young people are finding themselves homeless because their parents can't cope with them anymore. And no disrespect to any parent, but this is something happening across society. And so there was a huge shoot up of homelessness among 16 to 18-year-olds. And that after the pandemic does not seem to reduce. It continues to rise. And because of that, happening across the city, for example, of people who are in college and those not in college, there aren't enough services, there isn't enough money, etc., to support these young people. So that's one of the pressures I face about what do. I can do the little I can do, but it increasingly gets more difficult to help another and another. So last year, for example, I had 101 homeless 16 to 18-year-olds. And some of them are still struggling, trying to get a place to live after a year. And so they're still engaged in college. That's great because I'm supporting them. But the big issue hasn't been resolved. And that's one of the challenges I face doing my role. One thing that is developing, I'm discovering, is more and more staff are recognizing the complex issues that young people face. And therefore, they are taking the initial steps to try and help the young person before it comes to me. But I think one thing I would like to see more of is more people doing my role. There's only 3 of us in the entire Leeds City College for all the campuses. And so there's a lot of pressure to do all the things I'm doing. And also the pressure of finishing work, seeing 5 homeless students in one day, and how do you switch off from that? Hence, my playing guitar comes in to give me some level of sanity. Anyway, to unwind and let go, etc. That's what I mean. But I think having more people doing a similar role, or at least to spread that burden, if you like, would make a significant difference. Yeah. And so I think now one of the things that we still have, a way to go is the senior managers, where male, female, in terms of, gender diversity, but also ethnic diversity. I think everything, it'd be great to have a senior manager who's non-binary. Wow, how would young people see the college when that happens? So that's the magic wand I would like to wave, and I hope that in the next few years, these changes will be trickling in, and we'll start to see them.